back. Let's get you the latest now on the Maharashtra crisis as Shiv Sena leader and State Minister Eknath Shinde is in Gujarat, in Surat, along with some 20 MLAs, causing a major crisis and possibilities of the Maharashtra government. They're possibly in trouble right now. Now, the latest development is that the Shiv Sena has sacked Eknath Shinde as party chief whip, which means there will be no reaching out to him. He remains in Surat and with the MLAs who are with him, who are incommunicado. For the moment, also, Kamal Nath of the Congress is being sent to Mumbai to oversee all these developments. Sharad Pawar held a press conference a short while ago where he seemed to play down the entire crisis, claiming that this is Shiv Sena's internal matter. It's something that will be resolved by them. And now Shiv Sena sacking Eknath Shinde from his party post as he's camping there in Gujarat with several party MLAs. We're not exactly sure how many, over 20 are said to be with him. They are incommunicado right now. However, Eknath Shinde also tweeted, and this is his first public tweet since this crisis broke this morning, when it emerged that he was in Gujarat along with other MLAs who were supporting him. And he tweeted that we are Bala Saheb's loyal Shiv Senics, that we are staunch supporters of Bala Saheb, that he taught us Hindutva, and we will never cheat for power regarding his thoughts and his teachings. So they're claiming a part of Bala Saheb's legacy, claiming that, you know, they are his staunch supporters and they will never cheat for power. There's also information that Shinde may be going to Ahmedabad, but let's go across now to Saurabh for all these latest developments. So Saurabh, several developments in the last, half an hour alone. You've had Sharad Pawar addressing a press conference where he seemed to play down this massive crisis that's hit the MBA government, saying that this is Shiv Sena's internal matter and that Uddhav Thackeray will resolve it. Meanwhile, Shiv Sena making it clear that they are not reaching out to Eknath Shinde and they've sacked him from his party position. Eknath Shinde then tweeting and claiming Bala Saheb's legacy, saying he is a staunch supporter of Bala Saheb, and Congress sending Kamal Nath to Maharashtra.
That's right. There are a couple of things happened. This Eknath Shinde rebellion in the Sena, following which Eknath Shinde expected some sort of rapprochement or some sort of accommodation to accommodate his demands. The Sena, of course, is going about in its old style, that it will not negotiate and it will not share, space under a threat or under, this kind of situation where it's being held ransom by one of its own. That has always been the Sena strategy, and the Sena says it's going to stick to it now. And top leaders of the Sena have said that while Eknath Shinde invokes Bala Saheb Thackeray, the fact is that he wouldn't have negotiated with anyone who was demanding a post or who was demanding a position or demanding space in the party, and therefore the Sena leadership, top leadership, will not go to Gujarat to try and plead with him or try and negotiate with him. If he has to come back, he has to come back on its own. And then, of course, if he wants something, it can be looked at. But the Sena is very clear that they're not going to, sort of grovel before Eknath Shinde to come back. That's how the Sena's politics is. The other development, Eknath Shinde sacked as chief whip, a position he held. He's, of course, removed, and we're being given to understand that Ajay Chaudhary, an MLA, an old Shiv Senic, has been given that post. And also what we're being given to understand that there may be some sort of a gathering of Shiv Senics at the Sena Bhavan this evening. And that, of course, is where we're going to have more clarity on how the Sena is going to deal with this crisis. But it's very clear that while there are back-channel talks on trying to get other MLAs around Eknath Shinde back. In fact, one of the MLA's wives has filed a complaint saying that she doesn't have any knowledge about the whereabouts of her husband. And this we've again seen in the past, MLA's wives who are in resorts writing letters saying, somebody's been taken away. So all the resort politics drama that you see is going to play out again in Maharashtra over the next few days. But there is going to be no rapprochement as far as open offers from the Sena. But there are back-channel talks on to try and convince him to come back, to not leave his put out his first tweet since the rebellion, and he says that he would not cheat, for power, and also claiming that he's also a part of the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray and Anand Dighe, who was a very tall Sena leader in Thane. In fact, the movie Dharmveer that was released just a few days ago is based on Anand Dighe's life, and Eknath Shinde filled up that space that Anand Dighe left void in Thane, and of course built over that legacy. And of course he's saying that he will not cheat, but the Sena reminding that Balasaheb Thackeray would have never negotiated with someone who's demanding a position, and therefore the Sena won't.
Right. Saurav, I wanted to ask you this tweet where he says, we have never and will never cheat for power, regarding Balasaheb's thoughts. Is this, is he trying to hint at Uddhav Thackeray? Because this is something the BJP too, remember, has been saying, that they have moved away from Hindutva, moved away from, what Balasaheb used to say. So in a sense, can we read that into this?
Absolutely, that's the line that Eknath Shinde is taking at this point. It seems to be clearly that the BJP line, that the Shiv Sena has moved away from, Balasaheb Thackeray's Hindutva, and that's something that the BJP has said. But the Sena has denied that emphatically. In fact, Aditya Thackeray himself visited Ayodhya and said that this is part of our legacy, part of our, belief. It's in our system. And therefore, the Sena has denied it's moved away from Hindutva and has accused the BJP of, practicing a fake Hindutva. So the Sena is doubling down now. You will see, aggressive Sena-style politics because the Sena leadership is making it very clear that while they will reach out to Eknath Shinde to try and convince him to stay, because he's a senior leader, he's worked in the party for years, he's been someone who's been associated with the party since the days of Anand Dighe and Balasaheb Thackeray, the Sena doesn't want to let him go. But if they're saying that if he's going to, blackmail for power, then that is something that the Sena will not do. That's what top leadership of the Sena is saying. They will try and reach out to him. They will try and speak to him. But there's going to be no Sena emissary going to Gujarat or anything as of now. That's not happening. Right. That's practically not the Sena style of politics, and the Sena will not have any of it, is what the top leadership is saying.